Good morning, comrades. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Nürburgring, where the skies are currently blue, although we had some snowstorm previously, but it doesn't matter. What matters is we're going to talk about something that you should watch first. So actually, for the first time ever, I'm going to say pause this video and go watch the video in the video description or the first pinned comment, and then come back here. So see you in a second. All right, I hope you enjoyed it, and probably maybe even are currently in a full WTF state after seeing like what you saw. But in any case, we're gonna explain you everything about it, because next to me is Joey, or I would say Pineapple King, or the kid from
the chosen one.
The chosen one. And also, most importantly, the actual writer and the singer of the so-called TF song. Yes, so first of all, welcome.
Pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you too.
Greetings to everybody at home. Good morning, Carmrades.
Yeah. So the TF song, what's it about?
Okay, so I'm a ringer. As you know, we've known each other on and off over the years. I've been coming here about 12 years. You may have detected from my accent that I'm from Manchester, which is actually the home of the original 7-second ring king. Look it up, but after this video.
Yeah.
And basically, I'm a musician in the band, the Heizer Monkeys. A couple of us are racers. Our drummer is the current Porsche Middle East GT4 champion.
Okay.
And I just wrote this song as a bit of a laugh, kind of making fun of myself when I was a kid coming out here for the first time, and all the kind of stupid things that you do when you think, yeah, I'm gonna win TF. I need at least 400 horsepower just to show that I'm a
500.
man. 500. Yeah, but this was back in the day.
Okay.
And I just found myself writing these ridiculous lyrics, you know, like what?
It took you quite some time, because I think the first time I heard the TF song was already like 2 or 3 years ago, when you performed it in Lindenhof.
That's right, and I did the demo. I did a demo about 6 months later during the COVID, during the lockdown and stuff, and I was like, this is I realised actually it could be something, and just as a bit of a side project initially, without the band, I recorded this kind of demo and I sent it to you and a couple of other people, and a couple of people said to me, a friend of mine, Frank, he said, actually, you've got something here. Oh, be careful, careful. Yeah. You know, things.
Speaking of which,
things may be slippier than they at first seem. Yeah. You know, Derek Bell on the throttle, off the throttle, dab of the brakes.
Yeah.
And I wrote this song just about all the funny things that I used to say, or some of the things that you still see about kids coming to prove themselves and show off, and not realizing that actually this is a place that rewards time and just trusting yourself and just giving yourself time to acclimatize and enjoy the place and respect it, you know, because you respect the danger, you respect the other people on the track, you respect other people on the roads, you know, and this is what makes this place possible for all of us. You know, Olaf Manthey, who was in the video, he said to me, if they tried to start the Nürburgring or build the Nürburgring and start TF again, they wouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, for sure.
The only reason it's allowed is because it already exists, but it means it's kind of fragile, you know? So I wrote this song, and it kind of worked out quite funnily, and it's a bit ironic, and I guess there's a bit of a serious message, but I don't want to really preach to people too much, because, you know, I was kind of that guy.
I think everyone was, especially myself, and sometimes still am when it comes to trying to impress a girl behind the wheel. You know, we always have that, but for some people they do take TF on consistent basis way too serious. And at the end of the day, the main message of the TF song is not to ridicule the people, but to actually to educate. Yeah,
easygoing. What's the line is, Beloff and Schmitz and Caracciola go down in history, but easygoing and high performing is good enough for me.
Yeah, exactly. And this is also why so many great names in the car world agreed to be part of it.
Alive and dead, you know. Boosted Boris came back from the netherworld to join us, to be the magical shamanic wizard, to transport the kid for his martial arts training, obviously, in the Bavarian snowy Alps, with the Mr. Miyagi. Oh, barriers in the cold. I mean the curbs, but the understeer. We'll be taking this nice and easy.
Yeah.
Easy does it.
Full call for when we're on same stakes on Air Ones.
Yeah, we're on Nankangs, which are not the best wet tire.
No, and S2R would work okay, but not the Air Ones.
Exactly.
But okay, let's talk about the actual video clip, because the song, the lyrics, people can read them, can listen them, but the clip, it starts with the kid who wants to win TF.
He wants to win. If I don't win TF this time, I'm getting a faster car, you know. And he's like, he thinks that the key to machismo and proving yourself is muscle, and it's not. It's the inner soul, it's knowledge, you know, and it's respect. And the whole vibe, I'm taking this a bit carefully, the whole vibe really is that, anyway, he goes, first of all, I think he goes to Ring, and naturally, even though he wants the Porsche, he's offered the Swift. Because that's the wise move. No, you don't understand. This is stupid, you know. Goes to Apex, the world famous Apex. Check it out, you know. And he's like, he has a similar type of experience.
He wants to have a very fast car.
And he's like, he wants the Sherma or whatever. And
and then me and Pancake are like, what the hell?
Pancake looked more confused than you.
True.
Which, you know, is usually the opposite of the way I expect it to be. But he's like, you know, and then he stumbled out onto the road, and what nobody can see except Boosted Boris himself is that this kid, in fact, holds in his hands and his heart the potential salvation of the ring, for he is the chosen one. And he will send him, by text message and magic, and possibly some help from the internet, the information superhighway, look it up, it's a thing, you know. And he's like Misha's like sending a message saying,
no, Boris.
Misha, Boris, different people. Excuse me. So he's like sends a message to an unknown man chopping wood far away
in Bavaria.
He says, the chosen one is here. And the old man doesn't say, hello, who this new phone? He says, that legend is lost. It has been found, responds Misha.
Boris.
Sorry. Boris says, it has been found. And Volk, the unknown man chopping wood, nobody knows who he is, says, send him to me. Magically then, Boris, thank you, transports the kid where it turns out that, I mean, obviously, Boosted Boris sends a boy racer kid with a silly baseball cap and a funny walk magically to Bavaria to be taught karate and how to run in the snow and wash a car by the greatest rally driver of all time, Mr. Volterol.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just and they do stuff. Kid ends up learning not to be an idiot, and then comes back, and then he is offered by you, because you can see by Misha this time, not Boris, by Misha, he returns to Apex, and Misha offers him the Sherma car, and the kid's like, I don't need that now.
Yeah.
And I realise I don't need it. And instead, he encounters at the ED Tank Stella, which you all must behave at. I'll be watching. At the ED Tank Stella, he sees the foxtail manta, and he's like, "This is where I'm at. This is where I'm at." And then an old man in a marshal's uniform, check in the comments put in the comments if you know who it is. He points out another special car, and it's a car with 265 horsepower and no gizmos and nice semi-slick tires, road legal. It turns out it's the original Porsche Super Cup championship winning car of the very first Porsche Super Cup in 1993, as driven by Olaf Manthey, the legendary Kermit. And the kid gets in the car and he drives off into the sunset, and everyone who detested him now loves him. Everyone who underrated him now knows he's perfect. He was ugly, now he's beautiful. His soul was dirty, now it's pure. Most importantly, the kid understands the most important thing about this place, and that's respect.
Yeah. And I think this is again also one of the reasons why, as mentioned previously, many great names of car world and motorsports decided to participate with that, because it's hello to Martin. It's the message behind the song to actually tell that you should not to try and impress anyone, but actually respect this place. So you had Walter Earl, you had Olaf Manthey, who when we were filming the sequence at ED Tankstelle, he was really enjoying it. It was so fun to see, like, you know, like really one of the greatest of our time, just like hanging around like, oh, I'm a marshal today. Oh, you can bump into me. Let's do a second take.
It was so funny because I really bumped into him on the thing.
Yeah.
And we nailed it, but the director, Jack, wanted another take, but I could see that he hadn't enjoyed being bumped into, and the second time he kind of shifted out of the way, so I was like, yeah, I think we'll use the first take. I remember saying before the second one, Mr. Herr Manthey, permission to criminally assault you, please.
Yeah, and then when I arrived to shoot the part at ED, the first thing he asked me, like, where is Pancake? I'm like, yeah, well, Pancake was not scheduled for this shot.
It was super. It was just, the whole thing was super funny, and the change in Olaf, because the first time we reached out to him and his people through a mutual friend, Lars, who's the commentator for the VLN and the 24-hour races, Lars Gutschen, and Olaf emailed me and said, hello, I am Herr Manthey, I like your song, I will be in your video, you know. And I'm like, complete, you know, you see an email on your iPhone, whatever, and it says at the top, Olaf Manthey, and you're like, I cannot believe this is happening. But he was super formal. I went to his house and he was like, you will come in now, sit there, you know, and it was like, and there's like a 2-litre bottle of water and an empty glass. And I know there is no chance I am taking that bottle of water that's theoretically for me and pouring myself a glass, you know. And he's like, so, you will tell me what is going on. And it was all kind of formal, you know. But as you say, he really got into it in the filming itself. And you could just see he was really enjoying it. And then he sees his old car, which he hadn't known before even still existed, the old Kermit, you know, legendary 964, you know. And he's just kind of really getting into it. And at the end, when he finally manages to do a take without grinning because he's having so much fun,
yeah.
And I'm having to start telling him off, saying, Olaf, no smiling, please, you know. And he eventually does, like, where he's only slightly smiling, going like, what the hell, that'll do, you know.
Yeah.
And at the end, he comes up to me and says, Joseph, do you think that Hollywood will be calling me now? And I was like, yeah, I tell you what, I'll deal with the inquiries and I'll pass them through to you. You know?
So how did you get Walter to star in this?
Well, you know, I was on the. I helped out my brother who was driving on the Mille Miglia a few years ago in a support car. You know, the classic rally thing. And I was playing my guitar in the hallway, and I played the Le Mans song, which was the very first song we wrote about motorsport, about the drug dealers who won Le Mans from America and then went to prison. Anyway, I played that just in the lobby of the hotel, and one guy I met him the next day.
Was it Randy Lanier?
Exactly. Well, it was Randy Lanier's buddies, the Whittington brothers, plus Klaus Koenig Ludwig.
Yeah.
And it turned out that Klaus Ludwig was there in the hotel at the same time I was playing this song written partly about him. Yeah. And Peter Goebel, who's a guy who was Walter's last co-pilot, was there, and he and I just became friends. And he invited me to play at one of his rallies, and in fact, I'll play at the Volta Roll rally, which they're having, the classic rally, which is the very first special Volta Roll rally, which is in Germany towards the end of August. Cool. Anyway, and Peter and I became friends, and Peter trusts me, and Peter, I sent him the song, and I said, do you think Volta might be in the video? Already I could see it. The whole script in my head took about 30 seconds, because it's basically just a composite of every cool story I've ever liked, you know. Yeah. And he said, if I tell Volta that you're a good guy, which is obviously not true. But if I tell Walter, you're a good guy and he should do this thing, and he knew we were going to do it for the Eifelkind charity.
Yeah.
Which is the charity, as you know, I think that it's organised by a race team in the VLN and RCN paddock.
Yeah.
And they fund basically projects a lot for disadvantaged children, also for the Ukrainian relief effort. You know, they're just really great guys. And so basically we're doing all the TF song merchandising and that. We're doing like a comic book and NFTs with the script and all of that, and you're in that, Misha. You know, all of that stuff will be fundraising for Eifelkind. And of course, as soon as Walter knew about that, he was like, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. And track closed. The track's closed. We did it. We did it, man. We got it done. We got it done.
It's the last lap of the day.
Yeah, but that was a really... And Walter, once we could peg him down, because he was like, you know, big things to do with his responsibilities at Porsche came up twice, which meant we had to shift the date. And in the end, we did it in the snow. And I was like, well, hang on a minute. Part of it's in the summer and some parts of it in the snow. Then I realised that's even better, because it's like the guy is getting sent to the, you know, the Tibetan snowy mountains for his martial arts training or whatever, you know. Yeah. But the whole thing was just one of the cool things about it is I wrote it. And the whole thing has been about a positive message in the community. But the bizarre thing is, the full circle thing really, is that the community all mucked in. The Nürburgring Life guys, Edie Tankstella, that guy Retty, you know, Dale, you know, Frank, you. It's just I feel guilty even starting to mention loads of the names, because so many people did help, you know, and you saw just how everyone...
It was a common effort, because everyone, like I said, it sounds cheesy, but it was actually, everyone saw the big message behind it. And unfortunately, we also see through the years that it's still necessary to not only educate people how to behave on track to like keep themselves safe and also others, but also next to the track, where it's an actual big issue over the last many years, why they put a divider at the gas station, because people were just like leaving with burnouts and crashing into other people. It is bad, and I know majority of my audience will not do such things, because we all have this similar mindset and we're doing things, but it is also cliche that people come here who have in the first place also quite often nothing to do here and never been here, and they ruin it for others. And that's why we try to convey the message, to actually educate the mindset, hopefully reach those people through humor or through great names in the motorsport that people see, and
great music from the Heizer Monkeys, HeizerMonkeys.com, check it out.
Of course. So that's the whole thing behind it, and there's like so much, not only the message, but also the charity for the Eifelkind that is being run. So yeah, I would say check out the video, but you should have already by now. And most importantly, actually really share the message with other people, especially now Carmrade is gonna be coming up.
Yeah, man, the craziest weekend of the year, and on the roads crazy, like you say.
Yes, yeah. And at the end of the day, we also do it not only to educate others and to protect others, etc., but also to protect this place, because you might never know, they might put a divider between the one lane and another at the gas station. Next day they might close the track because one politician gonna start yelling because people behave like idiots and this originates there. No, it's because there are so many cameras here and people try to show off, to try to prove a point, and etc, etc. Okay, I
want to say this. One reason that I really wanted to do this with you, Misha, after we always were involved in that, is I read the comments in your thing, and your audience is a responsible audience, and you can see that they got their heads screwed on, and the your guys are capable of showing leadership, even if they're not those guys. The right voices and the right conversations has an impact. So I just want to say that, and thank you to everyone. That's it.
Well, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to seeing another song of yours maybe at some point.
Well, I tell you what, we'll play, I had something to do with the Helper relief effort in the floods.
Yeah, I remember that.
And we'll play at the Helper Festival.
Okay.
So if any of you guys are local and you know about the Helper Festival, which I think is on the July 22nd weekend, we'll play there, and mention Boosted Boris, backstage passes for everybody.
Cool, thanks for watching, and see you then. First we'll do a couple of other laps maybe with this M3 CSL. Is that a CSL? Yeah, it's a CSL.
Real deal.